Hello, everybody. Mike Stanley here with Shannon, Grimm and Partners. My microphone sounds terrible. Or is it my headphones?
I think it's your headphones.
Awesome. Well, anyways, we're here with our 614 real estate nerds. I'm joined today by Slavi Jordanov here.
Hello, everybody.
Jake Brenneman.
Hello.
And our special guest, Mike from Garage Experts.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about your business?
Absolutely. So we're a locally family-owned business. My wife and I own Garage Experts of Columbus. We've been here for about 6 years now. We are a franchise system based out of Texas, but nationally supported. We make all of our own products, which is unique to us. Most companies use a third-party vendor, things like that. We're actually the manufacturer, so everything we offer is lifetime warranted from a manufacturer's perspective, as well as a labor perspective. So, kind of sets us apart from everyone else.
Excellent.
We do commercial, residential, and industrial floor coatings. So residence or liquid applied floor coatings, as well as custom storage solutions for garages. We've done laundry rooms, things like that. Just kind of an all-around garage expert.
The storage, so everybody is getting into these floor coatings now, and I feel like there's, multiple reasons for it, to protect the concrete, because, concrete's expensive, but, winter times in Ohio, people are bringing in all that nasty chemicals, the salt and everything from the road. That'll eat away at a floor.
Oh, yeah.
And I know a lot of people are starting to do a lot of, their own work. They're running businesses out of their garages. They're working on their own cars again, which is kind of a new, people used to do that all the time, and then it kind of went away. And now that it's getting expensive, people are starting to do it on their own. They need protection for their garage floors. So everybody seems to be wanting to go for these coatings now.
Yeah, the coatings are, like I said, we do residential, industrial, and commercial. We don't discriminate. So we don't have a residential line. We don't have a commercial line. What we do is industrial coatings, even in a residential. So our top coats are chemical resistant, slip resistant. They're resistant to salt, scratching, scuffing, everything. If they peel, delaminate, anything like that, we replace it at no charge.
Slip resistance, pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's all awesome. I just know I've broken my butt on my untreated cement floor in my garage a couple times because my daughter likes to dump her water out in there, or bubble solution, which is always fun to slip and fall on. So slip resistant would be pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could actually add an extra additive into the product to actually make it less slippery. Which is really popular in like commercial. We do like sidewalks, things like that. But even in garages, we can do it. It doesn't make it any harder to clean, but it just adds a little bit more grit.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, super random question. When you're applying the coating on the floor, do you guys wear the shoes with like the little nail
spikes?
On
Yeah,
them?
absolutely.
I love those things.
Yep, I wear baseball cleats.
Okay.
But it's just one of those things that they provide a little bit more, but they're harder to put on and off. So the guys like the slip-in spikes, so they can just wear their shoes and slide right into them. And
I've seen those before. Those things look so cool.
oh yeah, every customer makes a joke about them, about aerating their lawn or anything like that.
The standard customer jokes that you get, just like the standard customer at a restaurant making the same joke to the server every time you get the spike shoe.
You were a server, and I'm sure you still made those comments.
I always made the same jokes, and they always made the same jokes to me back when I worked in restaurants, and it was always delightful.
Where you loved it.
So you say you make your floor coatings in-house.
Yep. Yeah, so Garage Experts actually started 50 years ago in waterproofing. Obviously they weren't called Garage Experts at that point, but 15 years ago they got into the floor coating business, seeing it as obviously what it is today, which is very popular. You got lots of what we call them trucking trucks that, do, decent jobs for little money, but they'll only last 2 or 3 years. Then you have reputable companies like us that come in and will do it right from day one, and it'll last a lifetime. So the best thing about ours is that all of our stuff is private labeled, made in-house, shipped to us directly. No one else can buy the product from Garage Experts. It is truly a proprietary product to us. The only thing that we don't do is our flake, and that's because there's really only about 1 or 2 manufacturers in the entire world. So we all pretty much have the same colors. We might change the names a little bit, but what's important is what's connecting to the concrete, which is the primers that we're using. And those are, we have data sheets galore that we can send people, and showing, what the strength, there's standardized testing, just like any chemical industry, that shows, adhesion strength and scratch resistance and wear resistance, things like that.
Very cool. Nice.
You said lifetime warranty on those?
Correct.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a lifetime warranty?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say on anything. So
And that's for the garages as well, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Garages, commercial and residential, commercial and industrial. Depending on the use of the space, there's some limitations to the warranties. Obviously, if they're driving, massive warehouse, 10,000, 15,000 square foot warehouse where they're driving forklifts on them every single day. And there's some limitations to the warranties, but for the most part on the residential side, lifetime warranty.
that's amazing. I know plenty of people that have tried to do the coatings themselves, and it's
Yeah,
two, 2-3 years and it's flaking up, and the manufacturer that they bought the coating from is like, oh, we'll cover it, and then they get nothing from it.
Yeah, no, the DIY kits, we've had people that installed them that were, engineers and followed it to the T and did extra steps, and it lasted 6-7 years. It yellows and sun fades because that's what epoxy does. We don't use an epoxy. We use a polyaspartic, which is UV resistant, so it won't yellow and amber. So if you walk into some of these garages with the DIY kits, you'll see, especially by the garage door, it's a big yellow area. That's just from the UV exposure. Epoxy is not UV, resistant, so it's going to yellow, it's going to fade, it's going to amber. Where what we're using, and most people, like I said, reputable companies in the industry are using, is a poly derivative, or we use a polyaspartic because it's more scratch resistant.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. It's a rapidly changing market, but we've kind of finally settled on what's the best product to use, and it provides a lifetime of scratch resistance, wear resistance.
Very cool. And you said that Garage Experts is based out of Texas, but it's national. And how many locations are there? How many franchises are there?
So here in Ohio, we have 3.
That's not a lot.
I'm the owner of 2 of them.
There you go.
Here and the Cleveland market. But there's 106 across the country.
Wow.
There's about 6 states that we don't represent yet. But we do have one in Alaska, and we do have Florida. We don't have Hawaii yet. I don't know, something about shipping. The Alaska franchise already complains enough about the shipping.
I can
So I couldn't
imagine.
imagine a Hawaii franchise, but no, there's 106 locations, and some of them have been there 15 years. Some of them have been there, just started this year, and we have a giant long email chain. If anything ever comes up that we've never seen before, even 6 years in, there's still something that comes up. I just shoot out an email, either straight to our chemist and ask him, or one of the other franchise owners is always quick to chime in and help us out.
That's pretty cool. And you cover, 3/4 of the state.
Yeah.
It sounds like. So.
Yeah, and when Cleveland was owned by the other owner, we would team up together. If we got a large project where we need more manpower, franchises are always quick to jump in and send crews, send trucks, send equipment, so we can help each other out. So there's really no project size too big.
Well, I like that. You have that reliability, that knowledge, and that power of being part of a franchise that is national like that, but at the same time it's family owned.
Oh yeah,
And so you kind of get those nice touches, that customer service, that care,
exactly.
but it's backed by something bigger as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, I did every single install and every single sale for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And eventually got to, I have more of a sales background, and so it's the hard salesperson was the hardest part for me to get rid of. But once I did it, opened up new doors for us, and my employees, a lot of my installers actually started as friends that I hired, and then hired their siblings or hired their friends, and we kind of grew that way. But yeah, pretty much every owner out there is father, son, husband, wife. It's kind of a cool setup that how they recruit people, a lot of veteran owners and things like that. And, they really value that. And the owner of, Garage Experts is hands-on. Through COVID, there was tons of, everyone knows there was tons of supply chain issues, and we never had one hiccup.
That's awesome.
Our owner, instead of, cutting POs and things like everyone else, he actually went in and tripled POs and brought everything in-house. So that way he knew he had it in stock so he could support our families.
Genius.
Yeah, so he wanted to making sure our families were supported during the time and not necessarily worry about the bottom dollar.
I know it was tough because a lot of unknowns, and so everyone was cutting because they were like, we don't know the demand, we don't know where we're going to be. And
yeah, he took a giant leap for us.
that is a huge leap.
Yeah,
It was probably scary for a couple of months, but man, oh man, did that pay off for franchise owner and for the customers too. That's huge.
Yeah, we kept rolling, and it allowed us to not stop and close our doors at all. And So there are some supply stuff with stuff we don't manufacture, metals and stuff coming from overseas and things like that. But for the most part, we stayed cooking and
That's awesome.
yeah, it was awesome.
Very impressive. I know you talked about the owner. He likes Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked before we started the episode a little bit about
Yeah.
road tripping.
Oh, yeah.
I know Stanley likes to do some camping, outdoorsy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Slavy likes to do it when the wife allows it. But so where are some of the favorite places you've gone and taken your camper? Or just camped in general?
Yeah, so we have this thing with my kids. We take them on a camping trip wherever they want for their birthdays. So my daughter is born on December 21st. So she doesn't really get a camp around here for obvious reasons. So there's a campground out on Myrtle Beach. It's right on the ocean. It's in South Myrtle Beach. During those good times of year, it has a huge water park, water slides, everything. And that's probably one of our favorite places to go. But we travel here in the States or in Ohio, or we'll go up to Lake Erie a lot of the state parks. We do a lot of state park camping, reasonably priced, and some of them have pools now. Some of the campgrounds do. So the kids really enjoy that. So
The state parks here are gorgeous.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We did
you gotta
not-
get if you can get into them. Camping became a
Oh,
huge thing
yeah.
during COVID.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's impossible to get into some of the nicer state park campgrounds like Mohican and things like that. But if you can get into them, it's worth every penny.
We did Mohican and Mommy this past year.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Mommy was like, let's see how many water snakes we can count while we're up there. And I think like in a 2-hour period, we counted 48 water snakes
Nice.
going across the trail in front of us.
Yeah, we went up to East Harbor, up on Lake Erie, and did the same thing. My son and I went fishing, and he got turtles and things like that, and blast.
That's awesome.
He gets out on the water quite
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit.
I wish it was more.
Yeah, of course. We all wish we had more time.
Yeah, correct.
Naturally. But been any cool places down in Kentucky or Tennessee?
Yeah, so we've been go to Pigeon Forge every once in a while. It's a fun place. With the kids, there's still plenty of activities to do. It seems to be quite an adult hangout place, but we like going there. We're taking the kids to Vegas for the first time this year, the older two. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. And Vegas every year for a conference for 4 or 5 days.
Very fun.
Yeah. We don't get too much into the gambling scene, but we go to a lot of shows. And
I was going to say,
hit up
shows
the
and restaurants are the
Hit up-
best.
hit up the
Yeah.
shows and hit up the restaurants. And, this year we're taking the kids. It's a little bit different, trying to find kid activities to do. But there's surprisingly quite a bit to do. Quite a bit to do in Vegas for kids. So, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, you were talking about storage solutions.
Yeah.
What do you guys offer storage solutions wise? You said you were doing laundry, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I know laundry room storage, mudroom storage.
Yeah, so we
Garage.
can do just about everything. So we make all of our cabinets in-house as well. So we source straight from a mill to our warehouse, and they use a CNC machine to cut the cabinets on site to order. An awesome thing about that is, if you did that with anybody else, you're looking 8, 12, 16 weeks turnaround. Our turnaround is 8 days, and then ships here in 2.
8-day turnaround for custom cabinets.
Yep. And then, so we can usually get them installed within 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. So, and
Most places that are doing custom cabinets won't even have put the order in by the time you have had them installed.
oh yeah, it's crazy, and they're lifetime warranted as well. So we use a melamine product, so it's a pressed particle board product, but the machines we use to edge band them and stuff completely seals them off. So you don't have to worry about hosing around them in the garage. Nothing. We have multiple types of handle selections. We have soft close doors, soft close drawers, about 12 different color options from wood grain to your plain colors. Then, butcher block countertops, things like that. We also do slat wall, which is what I say the new age of pegboard. A stylish look, but the hooks don't fall off every time you take your shovel off or anything like that. But yeah, like overhead storage, that's become a big thing. We also have motorized overhead storage now, which is great for some
That'd be
communities,
really
especially
cool.
with people. They build these new houses around Columbus. They're 14-foot ceilings in these garages, and you put an overhead rack in there that still only comes down 4 feet. So you're still talking, you need to get up on a 8-10 foot ladder to load it.
Yeah.
So yeah, these motorized overhead racks become
That's
a huge
genius.
thing. Yeah, and they have motorized bike storage, kayak storage.
I was going to say, I
Yeah.
know my parents have kayaks, and they're on two ropes, and we're
yep.
sitting there trying to
Yeah,
lower
trying
them
to
down.
balance them.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, well, this is about to whap me in the face.
Yeah, I've installed a couple for customers, and I tell customers I'll never install another one of those. Like if you want to pay for one of those, I'll give you a discount on a nicer one that's a whole lot easier to use because those are just dangerous. Your car's underneath them.
Very much are dangerous.
Yeah, no, the motorized industry is just huge.
That's awesome
for storage. But yeah, I mean, even in we're not designer style cabinets, but they have the contemporary look. So mud rooms, like you said, we can do customized stuff. We'll build a locker setups for people. So they have lockers and benches to sit on. All kinds of storage solutions.
And having that lifetime warranty and that durability is incredible too, especially with kids coming in, kicking stuff around, muddy boots, all that stuff. It's amazing to have something that's so durable and you can clean so easily. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you running any promotions currently?
Yeah. So every winter, we have a partnership with a mobile storage unit company here in Columbus. So we always offer storage at our cost, but when we'll set up delivery, everything. But from about October through March, we run a free storage unit. So we will drop off a storage unit. If you're getting floor only, we leave it there for a week. So you have time to load it, you have time to unload it. And then if you're doing floors and storage, we set up for 2 weeks. So that way you can actually get it in. We'll typically install storage 2 to 3 days after we do the floor. So it just gives you that extra time to actually get it organized. You're buying a storage solution to get organized. Why limit you for only having storage unit for a day? We might as well give you a few days so you can get it in, get it stored, and put it away how you want it. And then, this time of year, typically we'll run up to $400 off garage floor coatings. That's just based on square footage. The bigger the garage you got, the more we can give you off.
Very cool. I like that. Yeah, the store. I mean, that's a huge part. Probably people don't think about too often when they're like, I want to get this coating. I want to do this in my garage. What about all the crap in my garage?
Yeah, exactly. That is probably the biggest objection of anyone you ever go to is like, what do I do with my stuff? And, for liability reasons, we won't move your stuff out for you. We got dollies on the truck, so refrigerators, things like that, big stuff, we'll move out for people. But yeah, it's where do you put your stuff? We tell people just in the driveway, or especially this time of year, people take advantage of the free storage unit, store your stuff, and they're a local company as well. So they do very professional. Get there on time, pick it up when they said they're going to pick it up. They support us really well.
Very cool.
You see many people doing renovations or flooring in a garage before they move in, or is most of the time is it after they've already lived there?
Yeah, so anybody that's ever done it before will always do it before they move in because they realize how much of a pain it is to move all their stuff out. As you guys know, when you move into a house, anything that you don't know what room it goes into, you just don't put it in the garage.
Correct. That is correct.
So, yeah, I mean, anybody who's had it done before has gone through the hassle. We usually come in. There's a few builders here in town that'll actually let us come in before they close because the builders kind of see the value in it. That worst case, the closing falls through. Floor's coated. It's not a negative thing. It's a selling feature, if anything. So there are a few builders that'll allow us to come in, but usually we'll come in the day they close, the day after they close. We can usually install most coatings in one day, so we can get in and get out of there. Their movers can be on it within 24 to 48 hours after we're done. They can start setting stuff in there 24 hours after we're done. So we don't really delay it too much. Most people close and then walk around for the day or so and figure out where they want to put stuff. So we just kind of fit into that mold of, the day after they close, day before day they close, things like that. Is always the best time. Nothing in there. They don't have to worry about it. We're not going to be in their way. They're not going to be in our way. Things like that.
That's incredible. That's quick.
Yeah, it is good. It is quick. I like that.
Yeah. And then a lot of people have this misperception of this time of year not being able to do the coatings at all, which is completely false. We can actually install, as long as the concrete temperature is above 32 degrees, we can install. So in Columbus, and especially this part of the state, our concrete very rarely gets below 32 degrees. It's got to take a pretty nasty cold snap to do that. So we'll run propane heaters and things as well because we actually diamond grind the floor. So we'll diamond grind the floor, profile it. That way the coatings actually stick to it and adhere to it properly. So we'll run a propane heater while we're doing that. That way it actually warms up the ambient air, but also warms up the concrete.
Very cool. So year-round insulation. I like it. That's awesome.
Can you tell us a little bit more about garages? I know, what should clients expect? How much should installing a garage door, a new one, would cost? I know there are different packages, I'm assuming, and what should they expect? Let's say, are there if you can give us like a price range where clients would expect this.
Yeah, so we don't do garage doors specifically, but with the floors, we tell people it's an average, like a 2-car garage, anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500. We do all the repairs. So when we look at a floor, we talked about salt earlier. Every floor is chewed up. If it's over 20 years old in Columbus. So we'll actually come in, we'll diamond profile the floor, repair all the cracks and pits and everything like that, and then coat it. So obviously the more extensive work, the more expensive the price gets. But we're one of the more reasonable companies here at town when it comes to pricing. I tell people in that $650 a square foot is probably our average price for a garage floor. That includes we can coat up the walls, things like that.
Oh, you can go up the walls.
Yep, any other concrete foundations, we can coat that concrete as well.
Nice. That is nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, do you do basements at all?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, this time of year gets really big on basements, obviously, with the cooler weather. More people are more looking at inside projects. But we do multiple different types of coatings in basements. We obviously could do the traditional flake coatings, which is what you see in garages, but we also could do like the fancy metallic coatings, which are like the marbleized type epoxy flooring. We can also do like a quartz coating, which is very popular in commercial kitchens and things like that. But some people like it just because of the texture difference. Kind of gives you a sandy texture, so it's a little more slip resistant, things like that, a little bit more durable. But yeah, we do tons of basements. When the Parade of Homes was around, we used to do a lot of basements for that. People go to these industrialized basements. The metallic coatings get really popular.
Wouldn't you agree? You've seen a lot more of the industrial style basements recently.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And
especially custom homes.
Yeah, the custom homes. It's becoming popular to do the polish.
The open ceilings.
Yep.
Just paint everything and polished concrete floors or the metallic floors.
Yeah, the metallic floors and polished concrete. I've seen a lot of them. You see, a beautiful basement. There's a theater room. There's a wet bar. There's
no floor finish.
Yeah,
it looks like there's no floor finish at least.
It's crazy, but I love it. I mean, I've seen a number of homes. It looks great.
Yeah, and the nice thing is our stuff's resistant to moisture. So a lot of basements flood back up around Columbus. If you ever have that, our coating's not going to be affected by it. The cleanup crew can come in and literally spray bleach on it and no issues.
That's incredible.
It's extremely chemical resistant, so there's not much they're going to use. Because they're going to be cleaning up right away. For most homeowners, we say use a pH neutral cleaner. That way you're not using anything too acidic on the floor. But for those guys, they're cleaning it up right away. They're rinsing it properly. So there's no real concern about it damaging the floor at all.
Same warranty deals with that?
Yep. Yeah, same warranty. Yep. So we actually use moisture vapor barriers in basements. It's basically a very thick epoxy that will block the vapor because your concrete is always breathing. So that breathing is actually what causes 90% of floors to peel, is that concrete breathing, actually moisture coming up through your concrete. So by doing a moisture vapor barrier, we're cutting that out. We're not going to cause any problems with peeling down the road.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
So I have to ask, what is your favorite, coolest, weirdest, whichever one you want to choose, or it might all be the same job you've ever done?
So, Otherworld is a place down in Reynoldsburg.
Yeah.
So we've done quite a few floors for them in their facility, and that's definitely been a cool experience. But anytime we can play with metallics, I do all of our metallic floors just because it takes a unique touch, and I never let my guys do it just because I like doing it. It's very artistic. It's we tell the customer, have an open mind. I'll make you a sample of the color so you can sign off on it, but every concrete floor is different, and that stuff moves for about 6 hours after we install it. So the pigment's got to settle in different spots. So no floor is ever the same. We can pick what style you want, what colors you want, but outside of that, you just got to have an open mind of what it's going to look like at the end. It always turns out awesome.
It's like a custom car painter.
Yeah, exactly.
Custom hot rod.
It is, yeah. Well said.
It's like an artist. Yep. I love it.
Yeah. So anytime we do a metallic floor, it's a lot of fun.
Very cool.
So we're actually doing a 4,000 square foot church next week. And then we're actually doing basketball court lines on it and everything. So it'll be pretty sweet. Yeah. We can do a lot of custom stuff like that. We actually set logos on floors. Obviously around here, a lot of Ohio State logos, things like that. But we have Harley Davidson inspired colors. We're going to do a Harley logo with, floor.
I'm sure that's a popular one.
Yeah, we've done a lot of businesses where we'll set their logos because we have a custom printer, so we can get any logo printed. Then we can just inlay it in the floor.
Very cool. Wow. You guys can do
Like
everything, it sounds like,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. There's definitely tons of options and creativity, and we've had customers pick out literally their own flake colors. They'll tell me I want this percentage of black and this percentage of white, and we can have that mixed.
you need to call this man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that man cave or the she shed or whatever, it's become a very popular industry and tons of opportunities.
Very cool. Well, why don't you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're located online at www.garageexperts.com and then 740-343-9033. That rings right to our local office here, and you'll talk to Rachel or myself, and we'll get you on the schedule for installation.
Very cool, very cool. Thank you so much, Mike, for coming out
Absolutely.
today. This has been illuminating. I learned a bit today, so this is very cool.
Everyone always learns something about it, so it's definitely a new upcoming industry. So
Very cool, very cool. Thank you, Jake and Slavi, for being here as well. Sign us off, actually. Like, comment, subscribe to...
And Shannon Grimm Realtor
Shannon.
on all socials, and hit that notification bell.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.